Hello, dear Sagittarius friends. This is Vistalia Tarot and Astrology direct from my bedroom to yours, and this is your oracle reading for the month of March. I'm going to start with a general overview card from the Thoth Tarot. So, your overview card is Princess of Swords. I drew this card today as my daily card. So I find the Princess of Swords is usually busy dealing with this and that, often coming at her from all sides, either, phone calls, emails, duties, responsibilities, requests, or some sort of, or it could be thoughts as well, thoughts pulling her in all sorts of directions, maybe negative thoughts, negative self-talk, worries, fears, but she's sort of like ninja-like, fights them all, has to respond to them all in turn. It's just about overwhelmed, but isn't, sort of manages. And whenever I pull this as a daily card, I know that it's not going to be an easy day ahead, but I know that I will somehow, I will manage to take care of what needs to be taken care of, but it'll kind of require all of my mental resources and flexibility. So it might be that kind of month for you. Feeling also like you're a little bit out of your element, or like there's a little bit too much for you to handle, or like you're faced with some sort of task or responsibilities that you don't feel quite ready for, but there's no other option. You have to sort of just face them and do what needs to be done. And I think you ultimately will manage, but you might be exhausted by it all. I'm going to now pull a card from your message from your higher self from the Archetypes deck, and got the Warrior. Really quite fitting with this similar theme, having this kind of doubling of this kind of warrior energy with the Princess of Swords and the warrior archetype. Makes me wonder if there are battles here that are just in your head, perhaps things that you don't need to be fighting for, or fighting about, things that you can kind of, or battles where you can kind of give up, or lay your arms down, or maybe something about choosing the right battles, choosing which ones to focus on, which ones are really worth your effort, which ones are even possible for you to overcome. So finally, a card from the Amenti Oracle as a guide for you this month, and a kind of advice. So we've got, I keep my own counsel. So interesting. It makes me think of something like, I take my own advice. Maybe it's kind of reminding you that you don't always listen to your own wisdom. You don't always listen to this, or you seek for solutions or answers from others or elsewhere, when in fact you do know what should be done. You do know what would be best and wisest to do, but you don't necessarily listen to that always. So looks like a month where it's good to pay attention to that, to what would be the advice that you would give a friend in the same situation, and then following through on that. And finally, I'm going to do a little bit of bibliomancy for you, so reading a random passage from a book. Perhaps it'll help us tie it all together. It came to pass that the goddess appeared to me in a vision and told me of a rooster who'd soon win a cockfight in rural Maurice, Louisiana. Bet on Cocky Wizard, she urged, and you will double your money. But, shining lady, I protested, aren't cockfights cruel and illegal? And she said unto me, I will protect you from karmic harm as long as you promise me that you will donate your earnings to Beauty and Truth fans who need more money in order to be better servants of pronoia. Observing her command, I bet on Cocky Wizard, and just as she predicted won $30. I gave my winnings to a woman who leads a choir that goes into hospices to sing songs for the dying. What do you think of my actions? Did I sin, or will my generosity protect me from karmic comeuppance? If you believe the latter, do an analogous experiment. So I hope you have a good month and take care.